Alright, Ballon d'Or video. What up? It's Knox. Today we got a video for y'all, 2026 Ballon d'Or video. We're going to be going through top 10, some honorable mentions, and who I ultimately have winning it. I hope this camera angle is not chopped, but... So I would go with Bellingham. Dude had an amazing year, amazing World Cup, but Pedri having similar stats, plus the eye test as we know. I know Bell had a special World Cup and Pedri didn't, but the Jude not playing the league as much as Pedri did, and of course they won the brace domestically, so that puts him over the edge. But yeah, just having a great club season and a World Cup, even though he didn't do his best. What the fuck? Keeping at 13 for me. Coming at 12 is Lionel Messi. I think we could all agree he's around this range. 29 goals, 16 assists, 12 GA in the World Cup. Messi deserves to be here. He's a 39-year-old, almost scoring World Cup top scorer, and he dragged his team to the final. He's still doing good in the MLS. He won, I know the trophy they go for, which isn't really brownie points, but he's doing his job in the league, which is all you can ask for. Even with the World Cup win, he should be nowhere near the top 3. I think that's ridiculous, but yeah, great season for him. It's just insane what he did. And the lights got biggest. And so coming at my last spot is Vitinha. So at 11, I mean, 7 goals, 8 assists. We know he's just a dog in the midfield, just controlling the whole game. It's insane. But yeah, to me, he showed up on UCL nights, but, you know, he had a lot of flexibility and just a stinker in the World Cup. I pulled for Portugal. It just was disappointing. And I just think there are 10 better spots, better players, 10 better seasons this year, which is tough because some people disagree, but I don't know. PSG, their league is too light for me. So coming at the 10th spot is Declan Rice. Declan Rice, the minutes do it for me. He wasn't exactly the same kind of heartbeat as Vitinha, but the effort alone impresses me. Rice was Arsenal's best player, and they needed him. The minutes do it for me. He wasn't exactly the same kind of heartbeat as Vitinha, but the effort alone impresses me. Rice was Arsenal's best player, and they needed him. Now, as we know, he was the best player for I need to mute my computer. As we know, he was the best player for Arsenal. They almost took out PSG in the UCL. His performances kind of got worse as we went along, but just the effort alone and the minutes, he was their main man. He usually showed up when they needed him, and I know World Cup wasn't his strongest performance, but again, PSG players sitting out doesn't impress me, and I want to award Declan. At this point, we got a lot of PSG. Got a little setup in the back, by the way. Little thing about me is I pull for Man United. PSG are my UCL team since Man United sucks until this year. And I got the Griezmann in the back because I just, I like all the boys from Atleti. Hope they always beat Madrid and Barca's egos. But yeah, enough about me. Nuno Mendes, one of my favorite players. Dog, 7 goals, 8 assists. He's special. He was having one of the top years I've ever seen in the beginning of the year. He kind of got hurt, a little banged up. But yeah, genuinely having the best prime left back form I've ever seen live since, as we know, I'm pretty fresh to the sport. He had some better performances like Bayern Game 2 and not just the best showings like missing the pin in the UCL final, but oh my gosh, what a player. Easily Portugal's most impactful player. Second best of the World Cup beside their goalie, I'd say. And when he went down against Spain, they lost it immediately. And they went toe-to-toe with the champions. So we could be having a different conversation. But Nuno Mendes at 9. Deservedly so. What a player. Coming in at the 8th spot is João Neves. So I rate him. Of course, I don't rate him more than. Coming in at number 8 is João Neves. Of course, I don't rate him more than Vitinha, but the season he had, I felt obligated to put him ahead. He played more games, played more minutes, just kind of like Declan Rice, has the effort, the engine. I think he just played better than Vitinha more. Very consistent. Had some big moments too. Just such a well-rounded player. For Portugal, he wasn't his strongest, but you can't really take that away from a killer like him. And the whole team had stinkers, you know. As I talk about our third straight PSG player, I might as well slip in 14. I would say Bruno Fernandes, my guy. Breaking the assist record is insane. And then a fifth honorable mention coming at 15. Just making this video on the fly, low key, is Gabriel for Arsenal, best center back by far, and would have won man of the match if he made the pen. So coming in at 7 is Dembele. Dembele front runner for a little bit, but I thought he deserved it last year. But this season has a knock on me compared to his last one, and it's due mainly to his minutes. We know he started 9 league games, kind of was in and out, and you just can't show up in March to win the Ballon d'Or. Of course, his goals were spectacular, and he always showed up in the big matches, which is great, but I'm not giving you the gold shiny ball for that, especially this year when there's so many talented seasons. Of course, there's no clear winner because this was a World Cup year, which leads me to say my number 6 person I would have given to if it was not a World Cup year. Spicy take, but Kvaratskhelia would be my winner. With 20 goals and 9 assists, 10 goals and 6 assists and 16 UCL matches, he was PSG's best player by far. Or I'll say most impactful, especially in UCL nights. He played a good bit too. His goals were less flashy than Dembele, but they could have not come at a more pivotal time. He was a driving force and the key to winning the Champions League, as he drew that pin for Dembele to make. Fortunately, it landed on an international year, so playing for Georgia, there's no chance. But yeah, I think I would have given him the edge over all these players because it was just no one did their job as well as he could have. So that wasn't doing it for me. Just found out, got word that I'm selling my jersey got bought. Pauline Pogba, France. And yeah, I love jerseys. Have over 100, a lot in the other room. There's some proof that I liked PSG early on, but let's get straight back into it. And I don't know, the back just wasn't cutting it. Let's lock in as we get to the top 5. At 5, we got Michael Olise. I love Olise. He's one of my favorite players. I called it his breakout season this year. I just saw the talent back in Palace. You saw my Palace jersey, but yeah. Even without a goal in the World Cup, we knew he was a dog. Breaking the World Cup assists in a single tournament, and just the eye test alone, he's spectacular. He was such an important piece for Bayern, and they tore up everyone. In the league and in UCL, he was unstoppable. The reason, though, I wouldn't put him as best winger in the world the whole year was because he was only getting man-marked once by one player, unlike Lamine Yamal, which we'll talk about. So that's why I have him at the 5, and he's band for band with Haaland. It was very hard to decide, but Haaland's impact for Norway just kind of gave me the edge. We'll talk about that later, but it's just crazy how well they did. And not to mention, he broke Lionel Messi's record in a year. And yet, places 5th. It's crazy. But Haaland, goal-scoring machine. What a guy. Won a domestic race in the Prem, which I'll say is harder, and kind of was just City's main guy, unlike Olise. And then I put him over Olise because, of course, his World Cup. I just think getting Norway to top 8 teams and that almost winning, it's just insane. Had a great World Cup. I think he scored 7 goals. Just gained so much popularity. He's 42 goals and 9 assists, by the way, which is probably wrong. Probably way more, but. So pre-top 3, I'm going to give my predictions for next year's Ballon d'Or, who I think will get top 5. I think it's a little fun. And y'all can buy my jerseys online if y'all want. I forgot to say that. I just know this video is going to get 0 views. I gotta fix my hair. So this is like a little intermediate rant break. So next year, this is on the fly, by the way. At 5, I'm gonna go Vinny Jr. At 4, no Arsenal player deserves it, bro. It's going to come down to the UCL, especially next season. I think Barca, I low-key think, like, I could see, like, an El Clasico, like the first ever UCL final, because they're both really nice with it. I rate Barca, personally. And Arsenal, they focus so much on the league, it takes them out of the UCL. Bayern, they're not doing that, come on. They're not beating this season, and they couldn't even win the season. PSG can cheat, so their injuries and the longevity of a season doesn't take a toll on them. So maybe I'm telling you on my UCL winner instead, but I got an El Clasico final if they match up. If they're on the same side, Vinny's getting talks to Arsenal, so if he goes to Arsenal, I got Arsenal losing to Barcelona. If he's at Real Madrid, I still got Barca, baby. Barca, PSG, maybe. No fear. But yeah, I think Barca's gonna win a UCL this year. Granted, I feel like Lamine Yamal's not gonna play this year, but yeah. And so, Vinny at the 5, at the 4. 4 spot's gonna be Pedri. I mean, they just throw it at him. 3 spot, I got them winning. I got Rafinha. He gonna cook this year. Too bad. Credit's gonna go elsewhere. But at a 2 spot, I think Mbappe. I mean, when you're scoring 60 goals, whatever. I can't tell if he's this year, but if he just scores his goals, they're gonna win trophies this year. They're gonna win the league. And maybe another thing, 2 trophies. But I think Lamine Yamal will be second best player in the world the whole time. And I think the UCL will break him over. So, yeah. All right, we're locked and loaded. Top 3. Coming in at the 3rd spot is Lamine Yamal. 23 goals, 15 assists. Great season. Yamal. So, here's the thing. The top 3, they have their own ways in which they could win. If it went by criteria, like last year, but he still deserved it, the winner would be Lamine Yamal. This kid, he was the best player in the world in March by far. He balled up the whole season, but he kind of lacked those big games and critical moments. But when he locked in, and he would get 9 and 10 performances against Valencia and just the Liga teams, and on his day, we know it's his day. Like, no one's better than him. The injury kind of set him back, and he had a subpar World Cup to our expectation of him. And I don't hold that against him, but I can't ascend him in the tier list due to that when you have 1 goal to show for a whole 11 games. Yeah. Impressive season, but my boy was hitting 4 cellies after a pin versus Newcastle and UCL nights. Like, there's no way he deserves Ballon d'Or. I'm kind enough putting him at 3rd over Holland and Elise. But as we know, or like I previously stated, Lamine Yamal getting triple teamed sometimes even. Always double marked. So the kid is just insane. He's my age. He's me for all. All right. So who's going 2026 Ballon d'Or? I go both ways, in and out. But coming at the number 2 spot is Kylian Mbappe. So here's my reasoning. Very hard decision. Mbappe was the best player from August to March, back again in the World Cup all of summer. As we know, he's a golden boot in every league or every competition in the league, in Europe, and in the world. However, not winning a trophy really hurts. It almost seems like he makes the team worse, as when he sat out for a few weeks, they were winning. And going trophyless with the biggest club in the world just doesn't add up to me. I'm all for a player winning with no trophies like Cristiano in 2013. But when you compare him to Harry Kane, who did win a trophy, Harry Kane's stats are mind-boggling. 73 goals, 9 assists, I think, 8 assists. But the assists are even wrong. Like, he was dropping back, dishing dimes. Now, I know he got a domestic brace and maybe even treble. I don't even know. But, yeah, when I watched him, he looked great. But that's the thing, I didn't watch enough of Harry Kane. And that's why I could literally give it to Mbappe. I'm good with either decision. If we go by best player in the world, throw it at Mbappe. If we do it by who deserves it, which is what we've done the last few years and forever, it should go to Harry Kane. He just has the most balance out of everyone. Now, Harry Kane didn't have the best World Cup. We know Mbappe dominated. Like, I'm not going to give excuses like how they parked the bus and he wasn't really able to score against Argentina, or like not playing the third place game. But they won third. Harry Kane's impact goes beyond goals, as I previously stated. He was inches away from one of the best football years we've seen all time, but losing CL and World Cup for sure hurts. Now he's going to have the most controversial Ballon d'Or, maybe aside Vinny, Rodri, 24. But congrats to Harry Kane. You deserve it. And Spurs dominance runs deep is all I'm going to say. But yeah, stay tuned for more posts, hopefully. I love football, basketball, and soccer. I'll post about anything. Maybe comment. I can post about Star Wars, Pokemon, anything y'all want. I'm your father. No pun intended. But yeah, Harry Kane, 2026 Ballon d'Or. You heard it from me. My fair and reasoning. Hope this video reached 12 minutes. Short and sweet, but also had some resources to back up my justifications for everything. But yeah, also a little bit about Jude Bellingham. Kidding. But yeah, like and subscribe.